Assalamu alaikum dear students. Today we will discuss about the energy of Bohr's orbit. In the previous lecture we have calculated the orbit or radius of the orbit for Bohr's orbit. Now we will calculate the energy of Bohr's orbit. In order to calculate the energy for Bohr orbit, we have to keep in mind that electron is revolving in a specific orbit with fixed radius and fixed energy. When electron is orbiting around nucleus in an atom, then there are two types of energies associated with it. Let's suppose we have an atom having nucleus and an orbit in which an electron is continuously revolving around the nucleus. The radius of this orbit is r. When electron is revolving around the nucleus in this orbit, then it has two types of energies. The one which is due to its position is its potential energy, and the other one which is due to its motion is kinetic energy. And the total energy E total of this electron will be equal to E kinetic plus E potential. The total energy will be equal to the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. Students, we have to calculate its both kinetic and potential energies one by one. First of all, kinetic energy. When an electron is revolving around the nucleus, then its kinetic energy will be given as kinetic energy Ke will be equal to 1 by 2 mv square. Students, in the previous lecture we have discussed that if an electron with mass v and velocity v is moving in an orbit in a circular path, then there are two types of forces which control the rotation of this electron in this orbit, and those two forces are electrostatic force of attraction and centripetal force. By comparing, as during revolution, there are two types of forces. Number one, Fe, which is equal to Ze square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square, and number two, Fc, which is equal to mv square divided by r. As the whole motion of electron around the nucleus in a specific orbit is controlled by these two forces, and the magnitude of these two forces will be equal to each other according to the Rutherford's concept, therefore we can say that Fe is equal to Fc. By putting the values of these two, we will get Ze square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square, which is equal to mv square divided by r. This r is cancelled out with this r square, and we have the value of mv square. mv square is equal to Ze square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r. This is the value of mv square. Now you can put this value in equation 1. By putting the value of equation 2 in equation 1, we will get, now by putting values of equation 2 in equation 1, we will get this equation will become kinetic energy will be equal to 1 by 2 into the value of mv square. Value of mv square is there. We can put it here as z e square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r, the value of mv square. Now upon simplifying, kinetic energy will be equal to z e square divided by 4 2s are 8 pi epsilon naught r. This is equation number 3. As we have the total energy which is equal to kinetic energy and potential energy, we can write it as a general equation A. We have calculated the value of kinetic energy which is z e square divided by 4 pi divided by 8 pi epsilon naught r. Now how can we calculate the potential energy? Potential energy. Now potential energy. Number 2, potential energy. How can we calculate the potential energy? Students, you know that potential energy is the amount of energy stored in a body, or it is the amount of energy, or it is the energy of a body due to its position. So potential energy can be calculated as the energy due to the position of an object, m g h. What is mg? Mg is the weight and h is the height or distance of the object. Means the energy due to the position of an object. As we are interested in calculating the potential energy of revolving electron, so we will discuss it here, and we say that potential energy is the amount of energy required in bringing a unit negative charge from an infinite distance from the nucleus. From an infinite distance from the nucleus to the focus of the nucleus at a distance r, which is the radius of this orbit. Potential energy, if we look at here, it will be W, it will be mg's weight, and weight is basically WH, and weight is basically force. We can write it as F dot H, and F dot H is simply work done. F dot H is simply work done. F dot H or F dot S, distance or height, the product of the scalar product of force and displacement, force and distance is equal to work. It means mgh is simply the work done. So how can we define potential energy? We can define potential energy as work done in bringing a unit negative charge. Work done in bringing a unit negative charge from an infinite distance to the focus of the nucleus at a distance of r, which is the radius of this circular path. Means we have to bring the electron from infinite distance to the focus of nucleus in the orbit of radius r. So potential energy is basically work done. Potential energy is basically work done in bringing this negative charge, this electron, at a distance or to a distance which is the radius of this orbit. Means bringing the electron from infinite distance to the orbit of the atom. So in bringing the electron from infinite distance to this distance r, a force is required, and work is done, and work is done by a force. And what is the force? Force is the nuclear force, as it is the nucleus and nuclear force upon the electron. So it is a force between nucleus and electron. When there are two charges, nucleus means protons, the charge of proton, and the charge of proton and charge of electron. the force between nucleus and this electron will be electrostatic force, Coulomb's electrostatic force. So we can write it as potential energy potential energy is simply work done. So we can say that potential energy is equal to work done, and which is equal to work done is equal to W dot H. What is W? W is the weight of the object, and weight is simply force due to gravity dot H. H is the distance or height. Students, now force is the force required for the bringing of electron from this distance to this one is Coulomb's electrostatic force. So force will be Fe. Force will be Fe, and distance will be from infinite distance to R. A small change of distance will be R or delta R. As we are, this is distance. We can write it as distance as H, or you can write it as Fe dot D, any distance or displacement. Now distance here is, if this is point R1, infinity if it is R1 and it is R2, then the distance traveled or distance covered or distance of the electron from the nucleus change in distance will be R1 minus R2. You can find D as, you can write it here as potential energy, which is equal to work done, and it is equal to Fe dot R1 minus R2. R1 minus R2. How can you find the distance of electron? You can find the distance of electron by subtracting R2 from R1. So R1 minus R2 will be equal to delta R. So you can write it as potential energy will be equal to Fe dot delta R. This is the small distance covered by electrons. So we can say that potential energy is the amount of work done in bringing a unit negative charge from an infinite distance to the focus of nuclei at a distance of radius r of the orbit due to nuclear attraction, Fe, the force of attraction between the charges. So the magnitude of F can be given by, as we have this one, Fe is equal to Ze square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. So you can write it as potential energy will be equal to Fe dot, by putting the value of Fe, Ze square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square into delta r. Now we are looking to calculate total amount of work done. In order to find out the total amount of work or total work done, we can integrate this equation. By combining all the patches, we can find the total work done. So we can integrate it. Okay? Upon integrating, getting the point? In order to calculate the total work done, we have to integrate this equation. So by integrating this equation, we will get potential energy will be equal to, this is the sign of integration. So we are integrating this value Ze square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square with respect to delta r. Integration of r square with respect to delta r. Now, as we are integrating and we are calculating the total work done between two limits, as we are bringing the electron from infinite distance to radius r. So there is a limit of infinity to r. This is the initial limit, this is the final limit. We are bringing from infinity to r. So this is the initial limit, this is the final limit. So we can calculate the total work done in limits. What is limit? What is it? Limit is from infinity to R. We are interested in calculating the total work done between this limit. So, upon integrating this parameter z e square divided by 4 by epsilon naught is a constant parameter. So, upon integration, the constant will remain outside the integral. So, we can write it as potential energy will be equal to z e square divided by 4 by epsilon naught into 1 over r square infinity to r with respect to delta r. Now you have this value. Now we have potential energy as z e square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into 1 upon r square with respect to delta r. 1 upon r square or 1 by r square can be written as r inverse square. So we can also write it as potential energy will be equal to z e square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into integral with respect to limit of r minus 2 with respect to delta r. When we integrate it, then we use here as plus c. C is the integration constant. C is the integration constant. So upon integrating, we are integrating r square. We have the function function r, and it has a power. So we apply the power rule of integration. What is the power rule of integration? Potential energy will be equal to z e square divided by 4 by epsilon naught. Now we will apply the power rule. What is power rule? Power rule is 1 power plus 1 divided by the new power. What is the power rule of integration? Add 1 to the power and divide the whole value with the new power. For example, we have this one, so we can write as r minus 2 is the power of r. What is the power rule? Add 1 to the power divided by the new power. What is new power? Minus 2 plus 1 is the new power, plus integration constant. On simplifying, this will become potential energy is equal to z e square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into, now we have the solution of this one. It is 2 minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1 divided by minus 1, and limit will be shifted here. Now students, by solving it, by dividing r inverse with minus 1 will give you potential energy as z e square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into minus r inverse. By dividing with minus 1 it will become minus r inverse. Students, you can skip the integration constant here because it is a constant factor, it has a specific value. So you can skip it, C from here. You can skip C from here. Now, it is R inverse. On inversing it, on reverting it, we have to make it positive R inverse. We have to make R inverse as positive factor, as we have initially r square which is positive. So we can rearrange it as potential energy will be equal to z e square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into minus 1 upon r This is the potential energy with respect to these limits. Now simply by multiplying it, you will get the potential energy as potential energy will be equal to minus, will be multiplied when we will get minus Z E square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R. You can also apply the limit rule of integration, but here is no need. The limit, we can use limit as to indicate that we are interested. We can use limit to indicate that we are interested in calculating total work done between these 2 points. You can apply limit rule here, but it is not necessary. You can simply say that we are interested in finding the total work done between these 2 points in bringing the unit charge from infinite distance to R. So this is the total potential energy or the total work done in bringing a unit negative charge from infinite distance to the focus R or radius R of the orbit. Now this is equation number 4. Equation number 4 is potential energy and equation number 3 contains kinetic energy. Now we have the energy, kinetic energy as well as potential energy. We have the values of both kinetic and potential energy. Now we can use the values in equation A. Now by putting the values of equation the values of equation 3 and equation 4 in equation A, we will get total energy will be equal to kinetic energy Z E square divided by 8 pi epsilon naught R. This is kinetic energy, and plus potential energy. What is the potential energy? Minus Z E square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R. This is kinetic energy, this is potential energy of revolving electron around the nucleus. Now by simplifying it, we will get this will become Z E square divided by 8 pi epsilon naught R plus into minus. Upon simplifying, we will get minus Z E square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R. Now we have two ratios, two factors which are being subtracted. So we can take LCM of these. So what will be the LCM of these two values? The LCM will be 8 pi epsilon naught R. By dividing this factor with this one, we will get 1, and multiplying here we will get Z E square, and minus here pi epsilon naught R will be cancelled out. By dividing 8 with 4, we will get 2, and by multiplying 2 here we will get 2 Z E square is equal to E total energy of the revolving electron. Now upon simplifying, Z E square minus 2Z E square, it will become minus Z E square divided by 8 pi epsilon naught R. This is the total kinetic energy of the revolving electron. Students, we can find the total energy if we have the values of Z, which is constant, E, which is constant, A constant, pi constant, epsilon naught constant. If we have the value of radius R, then we can easily find the total energy. Now, how we can find the value of R? In the previous lecture, we have discussed how can we find the radius R. As we know that R is equal to epsilon naught h square n square divided by Z E square pi m. Z E square pi m. This is the value of R. This will be the equation number 6 and this is equation number 7. Now by putting the value of equation 7, value of R from equation 7 into equation 6, we will get by using values, by using or putting the values, we will get value of equation 7 in equation 6. We will get total energy ET will be equal to minus ZE square minus ZE square divided by 8 pi epsilon naught. 8 pi epsilon naught into value of R. What is the value of R? Here is the value of R, which is epsilon naught h square n square divided by ZE square pi m. On further simplification, we will get ET is equal to minus ZE square divided by 8 pi epsilon naught. Now, this will be multiplied when upon simplification, epsilon naught square, h square, n square. This factor will be shifted with first value, with the numerator. We will get ZE square pi m. This is the value of E. On further simplification, we will get this pi will be cancelled out with this pi and we will get the final value as ET is equal to Z into Z, Z square, pi E square into E square, E की power 4. Z into Z, Z square and E square into E square, E power 4. We will get minus Z square E4 M divided by 8 epsilon naught square h square n square. 8 epsilon naught square h square n square. We can write it as Z is a constant factor, E is constant factor, M is also a constant factor, which will be the mass of the specific atom. Under consideration, A is constant, epsilon naught is constant, H is constant, and N is the variable factor. So we can write it as ET will be equal to K into 1 upon N square. What is K? K is simply used for these values, these constant parameters. So we can say that ET or total energy is inversely related to N square. Greater the number of shell, smaller will be the energy. This is the formula for calculation of, this is the formula for the calculation general equation B. Formula for the calculation of energy in an orbit for a specific electron. Now we can also calculate frequency and wave number of revolving electron by using this equation. Students, there is one thing that you have to keep in mind is greater the value of n, greater the number of shells, smaller will be the energy. As you have read that according to Bohr's postulate, the farther the electron from the nucleus, more energy it will have. So you have to keep in mind that energy is inversely related to radius. Energy is inversely related to number of shells. This is the calculation of energy. Hopefully you have got the concept. For any query you can ask question. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.